You think if she really wants you, she'll make it dramatic, obvious, impossible to miss. But real interest usually doesn't arrive as chaos, it arrives as consistency. When she acts like this, she's already yours, not in the weak sense of possession, not in the childish sense of control, but in the deeper sense that her energy is no longer resisting you, it's moving toward you. And before we go further, subscribe if you need these reminders because men lose themselves when they start confusing noise for connection and pursuit for value. You need truth in your ear, especially when attraction tries to make you stupid. Here's what it really means. When a woman is genuinely drawn to you, you will not have to decode 10 contradictions just to feel 1 inch of certainty. You will feel movement. You will feel receptivity. You will feel the difference between a woman entertaining herself and a woman opening herself. Most men miss that because they were trained to believe attraction looks like suspense, anxiety, mixed signals, late night intensity, emotional confusion, and the constant need to prove yourself. No, that's not deep attraction, that's instability. That's called emotional gambling. The misconception is simple. You think the more confused you are, the more powerful the connection must be. You think if she keeps you guessing, she must be special. You think if she's hard to read, she must be high value, but confusion is not chemistry. Distance is not depth. Uncertainty is not romance. A woman who is truly moved by you does not build the connection on fog. She builds it on gravity. She comes closer. She answers. She remembers. She makes room. She makes it easier, not because she is easy, but because she is clear. That's the hard truth. When she acts like she wants to understand you, when she relaxes around you, when she follows through, when she makes your presence feel welcome instead of negotiated, when she gives effort without needing to be chased into it, that is not random. That is not politeness. That is investment. Men ruin this because they're addicted to performance. They want the dramatic win, they want the cinematic chase, they want the final scene where she suddenly realizes what a great man he is. But mature attraction usually doesn't work like that. By the time you're trying to force the grand moment, the real moment was already there in the small things you didn't know how to value. It was there when she responded with substance instead of crumbs. It was there when she made time without making you beg for it. It was there when she asked questions that showed she was studying your mind, not just sampling your attention. It was there when she softened instead of posturing. It was there when she stopped trying to impress and started trying to connect. Do you understand the difference? Impressing is performance. Connecting is risk. Impressing says, look at me. Connecting says, let me be seen. A woman who is already emotionally leaning toward you stops managing the image so hard. She starts revealing the person. Why does this happen? Root cause, not the fantasy, the psychology. A woman moves toward the man who feels grounded enough to be trusted and strong enough not to be owned by her moods. Not the loudest man, not the thirstiest man, not the man performing confidence every 5 seconds. The grounded one, the one whose life has shape, the one who is not interviewing for worth, the one who doesn't need her attention to feel real. That kind of man changes the emotional environment around him. She feels it. She feels the absence of desperation. She feels the presence of direction. She feels that you are not there to consume her, impress her, or beg from her. You are there to meet her. That is rare. That is felt. And when a woman feels safe without feeling bored, when she feels seen without feeling managed, when she feels desire without feeling pressure, something shifts. Her guard drops. Her effort rises. Her femininity softens. Not because you manipulated her, not because you used lines, because your presence gave her a reason to stop bracing. That is what weak men never understand. They think attraction is created by tricks. No. Tricks create reactions. Substance creates devotion. Now let's make it painfully clear. When she's already emotionally with you, she stops behaving like your attention is a game she can casually pick up and drop. She becomes responsive, not instantly every second like a robot, but reliably. She becomes curious. She wants to know how you think, not just how you feel about her. She becomes available in small but meaningful ways. She remembers details. She circles back. She initiates. She notices changes in your mood. She finds reasons to continue the conversation. She brings a different energy when you're around, not just flirtation, presence, not just sparkle, comfort. She doesn't merely want to be wanted, she wants access to your world. That matters, because a woman can enjoy your attention without valuing you. She can enjoy your validation without choosing you. She can enjoy your pursuit without respecting you. Men lose years here. Years. Giving premium energy to women who only liked being admired. That is why you must learn the difference between attraction theater and emotional investment. Attraction theater is intermittent, image-based, self-centered. Emotional investment is consistent, personal, and quietly generous. And here is the cost if you don't learn that difference. You chase what looks exciting and ignore what is real. You become obsessed with women who trigger your ego and blind to women who actually bring peace. You start thinking love should feel like a fight for attention. You start thinking uncertainty means passion. You start thinking if you just do a little more, say a little more, prove a little more, she'll finally give you what she was never offering in the first place. You stop reading behavior. You start worshiping potential. You stop standing in self-respect. You start negotiating with mixed signals. That's called self-abandonment, and self-abandonment always has a price. You lose time, you lose focus, you lose emotional steadiness, you lose momentum in your mission because too much of your mind is being burned trying to extract certainty from ambiguity. You check your phone too much. You rehearse messages in your head. You read meaning into silence. You hand over mental real estate to a woman who has not even shown consistent investment. That is not romance. That is leakage. Energy leakage, attention leakage, identity leakage. So reframe it. Stop asking, how do I make her mine? Wrong question, weak question, fear-based question. Start asking, is her behavior making room for something real? Start asking, does her energy bring clarity or confusion? Start asking, do I feel respected in this connection or merely stimulated? Because once you ask the right questions, your standards wake up. And when your standards wake up, your life gets quieter, cleaner, stronger. The woman who is already leaning toward you will not need to be dragged into effort. She will not make basic reciprocity feel like charity. She will not need endless convincing to treat your presence as valuable. She may still be cautious. She may still be feminine. She may still move with grace instead of desperation. But beneath that, you will see momentum. You will see her choosing proximity over distance, honesty over games, receptivity over resistance. That's what you're looking for. Movement, not fantasy, not your wishful thinking. Movement. And now let me show you the archetype. The man who gets this right. The man women naturally move toward without him having to collapse into performance. He is not frantic. He is not checking every 5 minutes for signs. He is not trying to force certainty out of every interaction. He is not pretending to be above desire, and he is not drowning in it either. He is centered. He has work to do. He has a body he respects. He has principles that do not disappear because a beautiful woman smiles at him. He listens carefully, but he does not romanticize everything. He notices effort. He notices inconsistency. He notices whether peace increases or drama increases. He is warm but not weak, open but not gullible, interested but not needy. He does not chase what does not choose him. He does not beg for what is freely offered by the right woman. That man is dangerous in the best way. Dangerous to illusions. Dangerous to manipulation. Dangerous to his own old patterns. He understands a truth most men learn late. The goal is not to get the girl. The goal is to become the man who can recognize where real alignment exists and where it doesn't. He knows that when a woman truly wants to move toward him, she will help build the bridge. She will not stand on the other side judging how hard he swims. He knows that attraction without respect burns out. He knows that beauty without warmth gets expensive. He knows that chemistry without consistency is just a high bill coming due later. Be that man. Be the man who can enjoy a spark without becoming enslaved by it. Be the man who watches behavior longer than he listens to fantasy. Be the man who does not panic when things are good and does not cling when they are unclear. Be the man whose self-respect is stronger than his loneliness. Be the man who does not need to possess a woman to feel powerful, because his power was never dependent on possession. It was dependent on posture, internal posture. The posture of a man who knows his value and refuses to bargain it away. So what do you do in practice? Simple. First, slow down enough to observe. Stop rushing to define the connection before the behavior has defined it for you. Stop trying to crown something that has not yet earned a name. Let consistency speak. Let initiative speak. Let presence speak. Second, match energy. Not more, not less. Match it. If she invests, invest. If she shows up, show up. If she goes quiet, do not sprint to fill the silence. That's called discipline. Third, speak clearly. Stop hiding your standards behind coolness. If you enjoy her, let her feel that. Calmly, cleanly, without overselling. Fourth, watch what happens when you are not performing. Does she still move toward you? Does she still reach? Does she still care? That is where the truth lives. And stop doing what destroys your leverage and your peace. Stop over-texting for reassurance. Stop trying to impress with constant availability. Stop turning your whole personality into the guy who likes her. Stop rewarding lukewarm behavior because you're afraid to lose access. Stop making excuses for inconsistency because the chemistry feels strong. Stop confusing your hope with her investment. Stop trying to force timing. Stop narrating fantasies over facts. Redirect. Redirect into your body. Train. Redirect into your purpose. Build. Redirect into your standards. Tighten them. Redirect into your circle. Stay around men who remind you who you are when attraction starts bending your spine. Redirect into your habits. Sleep better. Speak cleaner. Move with intention. Because the strongest frame in dating is not indifference. It is anchored living. A man who is anchored does not need constant signs. He reads what is there and responds accordingly. And if she is showing you those signs, if she is present, receptive, curious, consistent, emotionally available, do not ruin it by becoming arrogant or lazy. That is another trap. Some men feel a woman's real interest and immediately turn cold to feel powerful, stupid, childish, scarcity-minded. If she is giving you honesty, answer with honesty. If she is bringing peace, answer with steadiness. If she is opening, lead with care. Self-respect is not emotional starvation. Strength is not withdrawal. The right response to genuine investment is grounded leadership. That means you create clarity, you suggest the date, you keep your word, you hold your pace, you don't flood her with promises, and you don't hide behind irony either. You let the connection breathe. You let it develop in reality, not just in texts and projections. You show her that masculinity, when healthy, is not control. It is containment, direction, calm, the ability to hold desire without becoming reckless and hold affection without becoming weak, because that is what she is actually responding to. Not perfection, not polished lines, not endless intensity. She is responding to coherence, to a man whose words, standards, pace, and presence all tell the same story. A man who knows where he stands. A man who does not ask a woman to complete him, entertain him, or rescue him from himself. That kind of man creates a rare feeling, and when a woman feels that with you, you won't have to beg to know where you stand. Her behavior will tell you. Read that again in your life. Her behavior will tell you, not your wish, not your fear, not your friends, not some fantasy on the internet. Her behavior, the quality of her effort, the steadiness of her interest, the softness of her energy when she's around you, the way she responds when you lead clearly, the way she treats your time, the way she treats your boundaries, that is the language. Learn that language and you will stop bleeding energy into dead-end situations. And once you stop bleeding energy, something powerful happens. You stop chasing proof that you're enough. You stop needing every woman to validate your identity. You stop performing attraction and start selecting alignment. You stop trying to be unforgettable to everyone and start becoming undeniable to the right one. That is where peace enters. That is where masculine clarity returns. That is where your choices stop being emotional reactions and start becoming expressions of self-respect. So if she acts like this, if she brings consistency, curiosity, warmth, and real effort, don't overcomplicate what is simple. Don't sabotage ease because you were trained to trust struggle more than stability. Don't miss devotion because it didn't arrive wearing chaos. Real connection is often quieter than your ego expected, but stronger than your fear can understand. You are not here to chase uncertainty until it breaks you. You are not here to call breadcrumbs a blessing. You are not here to twist yourself into a version that earns crumbs from someone emotionally unavailable. You are here to recognize what is real, meet it with strength, and walk away from what isn't without losing yourself. That is the standard. That is the shift. That is how a man reclaims his life. You are the answer. Not her attention, not her approval, not the fantasy of being chosen by everyone. You, your clarity, your standards, your groundedness, your ability to recognize when a woman is truly moving toward you, and your discipline not to collapse when she isn't. That is your power. That is your reset. That is the man you become when you stop chasing confusion and start honoring truth. So, subscribe if you want more clarity like this, the kind that cuts through fantasy and puts self respect back at the center. And if you're building yourself into that grounded man quietly, seriously, without needing applause, know this: you're not alone here. You're among people who are done begging for signals and ready to live by standards.